imagination. Day after day it reappears. Night after night my heartbeat shows the fear.
Hello and welcome to our second episode of 2013 Overkill with I'm not even going to say co-host anymore. You're my host. With my other host,
With the
RC.
mostest?
Yes. I think I'm the one with the mostest stuff. I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm quite a man.
You are quite a man. At the Partisan, owner of the Partisan, you've been awesome letting us film here, and I'm again so happy that you are now a part of the show.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, this is the tavern for everyone else, and you were definitely one of everyone else.
I'm one of everyone else. Cheers for that.
So-
Yes. So you guys know where we're at. We're on Main Street. Come on down. Always specials, always fun things. Wednesday night, which you won't be hearing until tomorrow, but karaoke.
Karaoke
Awesome.
every
Yes,
Wednesday
yes.
with Anita, which is an awesome karaoke host.
Yes, Anita is absolutely phenomenal. So come on down. It's cool. Also, I'd like to thank really quick the DLM, Tom Price. Yes, publisher of the DLM. He is also a very, very huge supporter of Overkill. So thank you, Tom. Pick it up. You can get it anywhere around town. So that's cool. Today, I'm very excited. We're very excited.
Yay.
We have Mr. Robert Hypes from Playhouse Merced.
I'm just gonna do this the whole time. Yeah.
Can we just do
Ongoing.
like behind the actor's studio? Can I just
Cards, just like your first question.
when you go to heaven?
It's gonna be hard to drink if I do
I know.
this.
Right? How are you gonna drink like that?
Straw!
Someone give me a straw now. I need to put this in the.
So welcome. We've been wanting you on the show for a while, but you kind of, as artistic director of Playhouse Merced, kind of snubbed your nose up at
I didn't
it.
snub it.
No.
Kinda.
There's no snubbing happening.
Okay.
But when you got RC as
Look!
a host, that kind of was like that gave me the.
With the mostest,
See,
bitch.
he wouldn't. Yeah, I know it, right? Shit, man. See, me. No, I'm just nothing.
No, but you know, I
Nothing.
wanted to, but you seem so busy with all your other.
She seems so
well-spoken guests.
busy.
Yeah.
I think you're. I'm stumbling into my first adventure at the Playhouse Merced, and
Yeah.
like, if I'm gonna be that busy, and I just got like one thing going on, I just got like two things going on in one thing, and you have to deal with all of them. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm busy. I got a busy job.
Yes, you've got a busy
We're
job.
working a lot.
You have been working a lot. And with that said, what are you working on right now? Shameless plug promotion.
well, Blue Moon. If you're talking about shameless
yeah, that's
promotion,
it.
yeah.
Is it an
Working on
organic orange? All right.
Blue Moon right now.
Okay,
But
got
we're
you.
doing Jesus Christ Superstar in March. We just started yesterday. When this goes up, we started 2 days ago.
No, geez.
Yes.
Are they that bad?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Oh.
No, we started on Tuesday. No, we started on Tuesday.
I thought you were talking about actually starting the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, man.
No,
You
he
guys
didn't just slam us.
procrastinated.
No,
I
he
thought it
didn't
was
slam
horrible.
us.
It
No,
was-
he's talking about us posting up the show.
3D.
golf ball. No, so we just started, and you guys are in it. So I think it's gonna be really cool. I mean, it's such a really rocking show. And it's all rock music, and then, the story's cool. I mean, greatest story ever told.
Yes.
Just to piss off all the people that are pissed off because I got the part. What's it about?
Oh,
no, I'm joking.
well. Yeah, people are
It's kind of like Titanic. You kind of know the ending.
Right?
He's flat.
Yeah, everyone in the cast is just all like, really? This good? Oh.
That's not true. I was all, I see.
We're doing music now, and I think the show's gonna be really badass.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way to really describe it, because that's how Joel, who was on the show, he's the music director, and so both he and I talk, and we just want it to be badass.
Yeah.
That's it. We want the music to be there, and to be the most important thing about the show, and the audience to sit there and be like, oh wow.
When you guys set up the seasons over at the Playhouse, are you the one that picks the shows, or is there like a panel, or?
Well, I get so what I do is I talk for about 6 months to a year with people. Just I'm like, hey, what are you interested in?
Yeah.
And then I kind of put a season together that then I kind of send around to like staff or other people just to get their opinion. But then I have to take it to a board of directors to get their approval.
Okay.
So I'll come up with a season and like, oh, this is really fun,
Yeah.
and I'll take it to the board and they'll go, well, these 6 things are really fun, but we're not too happy about the 4th.
Have they really?
Well, it depends on the show. I mean, sometimes my creativity kind of like goes.
Well,
Go ahead.
you did. I mean, like last season, you did Parade, and that was very kind of unusual. I
Yeah.
think cutting edge, kind of, to bring to Merced. So that's why when I go back to the board, it's like, wow.
Well, they're
were
usually
they-
pretty good. Like if I can really describe something really well, or if it's something I'm really passionate about, like I did Parade last year, something I was really passionate about doing because I love the story. And I was like, just let me do it. Like
Yeah.
I've been doing all sorts of stuff, for so long.
Well, they're on a board for
Yeah.
for the Playhouse. So, I mean, they can't be like stuck up assholes, right?
No,
I mean,
no,
they
no,
have
no.
to be like somewhat open-minded.
Yeah, no, they are. They're really open-minded. It's always weird, because like this year, we did Rocky Horror, and I thought
Yeah.
that was the show that they would be like, whoa, Rocky Horror, that's a little risque. But when I pitched it to them last season, they were all like, yeah, we want to do Rocky Horror. It's like I remember seeing that when I was like in high school, and I'm like, really? That's the
We
show.
got
I
old
thought-
board members.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, some older
I'm
members,
so
but,
kidding.
but for the most
Kidding.
part, they're really excited. For the
Right.
most part, they get really excited. Every now and then, sometimes they'll go, don't you think we really need to do a show that will make money? It's always an interesting, like, picking a season. It's like, it's like for me, I always liken it to like, getting your baseball team together.
Okay.
In the off season.
Yeah.
So you're like, all right, we're gonna bring
that's a
this
great
rookie
analogy,
up.
for sure,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. We're gonna bring this rookie up, and we think he's good. Like we think he'll be really good, but you don't really know until
Right.
you get into the middle of the season, and then
We think he's a home
Right.
run hitter. He's going to sell some tickets,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're not
Right.
you're not really sure.
So that's the kind of thing that I always look for. Is so when we put together a season, it's always like a mix of like, all right, here's some shows that we know like families would love. Here's some shows that we think like these people would like. Like college students, the UC, Merced College, and
Yeah.
let's put that in there too. Trying to reach as many people as we can.
And then there's some flops.
Yeah.
What's the biggest flop you've ever done? I mean, and this has nothing to do with
No.
the cast or the crew
No,
or
no,
like
no,
whoever's
no.
running
It's-
it,
it's a
or the
matter
person that
of-
wrote it or whatever.
Right.
But just like what did
Right,
not
what
work?
did
what
not
was
work
like,
in Merced?
Are you kidding me? It's like crickets.
Right.
We're playing the
Okay,
crickets.
well, it depends on what you describe as a flop. Now,
I would say box office flop because I don't want to offend anybody.
no. Because what I mean by flop is like we actually run pretty well at the Playhouse. We don't ever run. All of our shows will make money. Like we never make a negative balance. Like so, so I did 2 shows last year that weren't really well attended. So
Yeah.
I directed Frost Nixon,
Okay.
which is a fantastic show, and it had an amazing cast, and no one wanted to come see it.
It sounds boring.
It does.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I think that's what everyone else said. And other
I don't
people are
know.
like, I don't want to relive that crap. You know? Like,
No, see, I'm a
I remember
politics
it.
junkie,
Yeah.
so I was
You just
excited
gotta fuck it up,
about
man. You gotta make
Yeah.
it like Frosty the Snowman and like Trot Nixon, the old baseball player.
It was weird. Like we have people walking out the so we would because everyone at the end of the show will be out there and the audience is coming out. We'd have like old people coming up to like the guy that played David Frost, the guy that played he's like I hated you back in the 70s and I hate you now. And they were like,
Jeez, yeah. Can't get away from it.
But that's the ultimate compliment,
yeah.
though.
And then Parade didn't do, it still made money. It didn't do well.
But it's one of those things you look back on. You're proud that you did it.
Yeah,
You're proud
and
that the board
cast that we
approved
had was-
it. And
yeah,
like,
the cast that we had was amazing, and I was like, you know what? And everyone that saw it was like, I don't understand why more people haven't seen this. And I was
Right.
like, you know what? That's kind of the cool thing about doing live theaters. You don't really know how well a show's going to take off. I mean, you can think about it. I mean,
Right.
you have the same. Kind
It's
of
the same thing with
yeah.
bands. You can
Right.
get somebody that's playing at the Fillmore, and then they're playing here the night before, and they sell like 40 tickets.
Yeah, and
Right.
you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't understand. So
Right.
that's kind of the interesting thing about producing like shows, except.
And what I find so interesting too is being a community playhouse, and being in that nonprofit status. There's a lot of like time and energy that goes behind it, not only on the artistic and the music, but also picking those and then going out and finding out how much copyright, how much just everything's going to be to get the rights and that kind of thing. So
I do everything a year in advance, almost. So right now I'm in February already picking the season that's going to open in like September.
Right.
And I'm already close to finalizing it. So that way,
Well, I was going to ask you if
Yeah.
you could leak anything, but I guess
you
you
can't
can't.
like not until the board approves it.
I can make, I would say, it's going to be our 20th anniversary season next year. So it's going to be, there's a
big
couple
season.
titles on there that I think are going to be like just amazing.
Yeah.
Like people are like, how are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any plans on like, because I know like most of the stuff, you used to have the black box.
Yeah.
Until, whatever happened with that situation. Oh, let's play pool. But the,
It's so good.
But you were doing shows at the Black Box Theater and you were doing shows at the Playhouse.
Yeah.
In the past, Playhouse Merced has done shows at the Meinzer Theater, and then you recently just got done doing one at the Multicultural Arts Center. Is there any plans? And I'm sure people wonder. It's like, when are they going to do something at the Merced Theater?
Yeah, that's okay. And then there's several things that go into like me wanting to do a show at the Merced Theater. Like,
And it goes back to the rights again too.
well, cost-wise, when I apply for a show, I have to tell the company how many seats are available in that particular theater,
Right.
and then I tell them right after that I list how many seats I think I'm going to sell per performance.
Okay.
And so that copyright company will, then I tell them like my average ticket price, then kind of the dates that I want to do the show. I
Yeah.
send that information in, and they come back with a quote.
Right.
A lot of companies will base their quote based off of the amount of seats
Right.
that a theater has, and so that takes me back a little bit because I'm like, if I'm doing a musical, that's a more expensive cost for me up front if I do it over at the Merced Theater, because
Yeah.
it's almost 3 times the royalty cost to do a
Right.
show there than it is for me to do here. But me personally, like, I would love to do something at the Merced Theater that involves like all the other arts organizations, like the symphony and the Multicultural Arts Center, and then like all the other dance companies.
Yeah.
And maybe like maybe we find some bands with like you and Tom Price, and we make it like a summer event.
Yeah.
Like over the course of this weekend, every single July 21st and 22nd, it's going to be the Merced Downtown Summer Extravaganza or something.
Huh.
And you see like that the whole community can come together and enjoy.
That's
what I
pretty
think.
cool.
That's what I think should be used for the Merced Theater. And that's not necessarily us doing shows over there, because I have a theater. That's my biggest problem with doing shows other places. Like, I have a theater
Right.
to do shows in, and so I should do shows in my space.
That's how I felt when I used to do before I got in full time over at the Meinzer Theater. I was doing shows everywhere, like fucking everywhere, and every little coffee shop or like a bar or wherever I was doing
Right.
shows. And then once I kind of got locked into the Meinzer, it was just kind of like, but why am I going to do a show there? Like,
Right.
I have a place that I'm used to. Like, I have a sound system here. I have lights here. Like, why am I going to do anything anywhere else?
And it's true, and and it kind of goes back to, that's why I love the idea of kind of getting the community together. And of course we want everybody in Merced to succeed and the arts to succeed, but at the same time you're kind of cannibalizing on, you do have a theater, and you do have a bar, and you want people to, thank you baby, our producer extraordinaire
Dan
and
Hong.
bartender, Dan Hong.
Thank you, sir.
Yay! Thank you.
It just appears out of nowhere.
I know. It's like that. It's like, oh, I got a new drink. But you want that support, but at the same time, you want. I always, when I first came to Merced, I knew about the Playhouse, but I was, I didn't know a lot about it. And I was a little intimidated because, I hadn't done any shows or anything like that before. So I always say, I'm still amazed when I tell people about Playhouse Merced and they don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, right. That happens to me at the grocery store. Like, we run into people and they're like, "What do you do?" "I work at Playhouse Merced." "What's that?"
Yeah. Is that at the college?
Yeah. No.
Right,
No.
right.
No, I think you said no.
Yeah.
And, we try. The best we can do is get our word. We try to raise our product up and set a certain bar for what we think is really nice work. I think we do really nice work, and let that kind of spread. Spread the word. And we've been doing a lot better year after year. We're getting more and more audience kind of coming back and coming to see shows. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think UC? Do you think that has anything to do with? I mean, like Rocky Horror. I think you got
It's
a
huge.
lot.
And look, there's a lot of shows that we. So when I say that Frost Nixon and Parade were flops, those were also really heavily attended by UC students. So it's kind of interesting, because we have a different pricing structure for students. Because I always
What are the
Not
prices
not
now?
just UC students. but
It's any
in
student,
general.
yeah. Because
Nothing pisses me off more than a fucking UC Merced special, man. Don't get me started on this
It's
shit.
true. I know. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay, RC. It's okay. Yeah. No, he does. He gets really pissed.
From your chalice.
Which,
Yeah.
yes.
You don't have
Drink from the
you don't have a
chalice.
UC Merced special drink.
No, man. I mean,
And he's like,
I
"Fuck
believe in
them."
I believe in people, not this fucking that. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, no, because we'll do adult and senior prices.
And what are those prices?
So adults are 20 and seniors are 19. And then for students, since I used to be a student, I'm kind of passionate about really lowering the student cost, because part of why we were founded was for education. So our student price is $10.
Yeah.
So generally, what I tell everyone is like, look, if you're a student, we're gonna offer you the same price as what it costs to come see a movie,
Yeah.
and our concessions will be lower.
Right.
If you're 21,
You can
drink.
fucking
You can
drink,
drink.
right?
we have beer
Yep.
and wine.
Yep, you can
Every now and
drink.
then we have hard alcohol.
Yes.
But I'm like, so if you're a student,
Yes.
yeah, it's like
I know that.
So, yeah. Every now and then.
Yeah, no. People from Rocky Horror were going up to me, and I mean, because Dan was doing all the multimedia, and they'd come up to me afterwards, and they're like, "Oh, I've met you before," and I'm like, "I don't, no, at Rocky Horror."
Oh.
Never mind.
Roger was crazy. We had all sorts of people.
Yeah.
So the UC, I mean, that crowd was really big.
Yeah, and it's not just the UC. It's all the colleges. That's why we don't offer like a special UC discount right now. You know, so
Right.
yeah, we're
Well,
saying
students
college-
in
yeah,
general.
yeah,
There's so
yeah,
many students in
yeah.
this area.
Yeah, and then we also, we get people from, Modesto Junior College down.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like, look, student
Right.
discount. If you're a student, come see a show, $10.
Now you're starting to get talent from. I mean, I know that Merced College, I think, more established, and they've kind of known about the Playhouse. You guys have worked together before,
Yes.
so you guys you attract that talent. But with Jesus Christ Superstar, aren't there a few people from UC?
Yeah.
That are
and
in
we always
the
get
cast?
a few UC students, and
Okay.
that's kind of neat too. It's always nice to get like students involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice to get like that's why we're a community theater, so it's anybody. That's a big thing.
That's how I got
Yeah.
the gig.
No, that is not why you got the gig. I
That's how
kept
I
on
did it.
telling him. No, I told him because he's like, well, I know why I got it, and I'm like, no. If Joel did not like the way you
Yeah.
sounded,
Yeah.
you would not have gotten the role.
I'm not knocking my ability.
All right, that's good. I'm
No,
glad you're
Joel-
not knocking your
yeah,
ability.
Joel and I try to be
Dude, I'm the
pretty, we try to
man.
be pretty on it, like about the way that we cast. And
Yeah.
with us, like when we cast a show, like we like to treat it like this is the first time that we're seeing you.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't care if this is I don't care if I hung out with you the night before, or if like we're really good friends. You know what? It's all clean slate. You walk up there, you audition. That's
And I
it.
respect the hell out of
Yeah.
that.
That's the same
you
thing I
know?
do with booking.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like just because I know you and I like you doesn't like necessarily mean that like your music fits.
Right.
At-
and
like,
I
at this
wouldn't
place.
want that.
And that's how,
you know,
that's how
I
like
wouldn't
the
want it
cast
that
feels
way.
like, look, I love your voice, but every now and then
Doesn't
you're not
fit.
good for a character.
Or you don't look the part.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
Playhouse. Okay, so
Yeah.
Playhouse has been around for what year was it?
20 years.
94. So yeah.
And what year did you get here?
I got here in 2004.
Where are you
Okay.
from?
I'm from all over. I'm an Army brat. Or
Okay.
Air Force brat. Sorry, Dad, if you're watching. I don't think you are. You don't really get on the
Sorry, Dad.
My mom will watch this, but my dad, no. But Air Force brat. So I was born in Florida, moved to Louisiana, stayed in Louisiana for a little bit, moved up to Nebraska for some strange reason. I can't remember why. Moved back down to Louisiana, and then spent out the rest of my middle school and high school in Arkansas.
So did your dad work? Was he stationed back there, or did he retire and go back to Louisiana?
No, he got stationed back in Louisiana.
Okay.
And then we got stationed in Arkansas. He ended up retiring in Arkansas.
Oof.
What part of was it Little Rock or
Little Rock, yeah,
Okay.
right around Little Rock.
Little Rock's a trip. I was driving through my first time in Little Rock.
Uh-huh.
I was just driving from south from somewhere, and all I see is just this skyline.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, because that's one of the most amazing things about the Midwest is like you're just cruising, and then like all of a sudden it's just like
there's a city.
it's like and it just peaks. It's like you're seeing a mountain like in the distance.
I know,
and,
yeah.
And I just saw Little Rock, and I was like, this city is big. This city, where did Little Rock go?
Yeah.
And it was just like, and it just kind of disappears, just like it appears, And like, I've never played a show there, but I've always wanted to. There's a place called like something pizza, like I don't know, White something pizza, or like White Eagle Pizza, or like
something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, they get a lot of really good bands in there.
Yeah, and I really wanted to play there, but just nothing ever lined up. So eventually,
really-
we stayed the next night, and we camped out in Texarkana.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Texarkana.
And we had to cross back across the border to get
Which
beer.
and people,
Yep.
Well, it depends,
Yep.
right? Because
Well, you got to sign a contract.
Texarkana is what?
Texarkana.
It's all three states, right?
It's
Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana.
It's the kind of trifecta.
And people argue with me that because they're like, no, it's not. It's just like Texas and Arkansas. I'm like, no, it's Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana,
Yeah.
right there.
It's all there. But
Don't-
it is interesting because you have to, like, if you go into a bar or something, you have to sign a contract and you have to pay a fee.
No, you have to join.
To drink.
You have to join.
Okay, sorry. You have to join.
Yeah,
That's
you
like
have to join the club.
It's like Utah's
Yeah,
like that.
you have to
But then
join
you
a
get
club.
some like really cheap beer. Like I
Yeah.
mean, not really cheap beer, Dude, it's like
Oh,
three.
the drinks are cheap.
Right.
3.2.
Yeah, 3.2%. Like, good luck.
Right.
You know, it's like
Right.
figure it out. You're gonna get fucking bloated before
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
drunk. You know, or even
That's-
gotta get a buzz.
I
you know?
spent most of the time on hard alcohol in the South.
Yeah.
Well, it's the South.
I'm like,
Is that what you're supposed to do in the South?
It's the South.
Well, the beer, like you drink, like people, you know, if you're from the South, you just drink beer, and that's just like what you drink.
Right.
And that's like tea.
Yeah. Like,
you know?
yeah.
Then you have
Sweet
beer.
tea.
And that's it. Sweet tea.
Sweet
Sweet
tea.
But it's funny because I grew up.
That's like
when I
one
was-
word to you
It
people?
is, sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
I grew up. I went to college in a town that I had to buy membership. So you had to buy a membership to be a part of any bar.
Huh.
So I was a member of 2 different bars, and then I paid for my friend to become an Eagle, so we could go drink at the Eagles Club. So he became an Eagle, so we could go drink
What's
there.
the Eagles Club?
The Eagles is kind of like the Elks Lodge.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright.
it's just another fraternity. So
It's like a VFW, but not
huge.
veterans.
But it was like such a huge, like it had a huge dance floor. Like they did awesome karaoke. It was
Yeah.
really weird. It's like a huge dance floor and a bar, and they had like 25-cent pitcher nights.
Oh, wow.
It's
It was
weird.
like-
It's
so I was like,
cool,
here you
but it's
go.
weird.
Yeah, no, it's weird. So I made sure I paid for him, to become an Eagle, and then we could drink there too.
Right.
But
So much better than elk.
But
I mean,
no
no
liquor
offense to
store.
elks or whatever, but
No,
like,
I'd much
Eagle.
rather be an
yeah,
eagle.
it's like,
It's an eagle. I know. I know. It is much more regal than an elk.
I'm a fraternal organization. But like, there's no liquor stores. There were no
Right.
liquor stores.
we
So
found a
you had to-
drive-through place.
Yeah, you have to go. Well, see, you have to go cross county.
Yeah.
To go to the liquor store, and then on Sundays all the liquor stores were closed.
That's how it is in
So
Texas.
I'd have to drive to Missouri if I wanted alcohol on Sunday. So
So fucking
Yeah.
awesome
Right,
in a
so-
way. you
But
know?
it's true though, because
if I did, yeah, if I didn't like think ahead, like
That's
Super
exactly-
Bowl Sunday, if I didn't think ahead, I'm
Yeah.
like, my ass is making the
oh
trip.
no.
And no one's
You're-
going to your party next
fucked.
year.
Yeah.
You're fucked. You know, it's funny. No, and I know this show is about you, but I will tell you, in Texas, it's the same thing. They have, liquor stores, and they are closed on Sunday, and they close at 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. So you
Yeah.
can't go into a freaking. I thought it was the freakiest thing when I first came to California and went to like a fucking CVS and was like, I could buy Crown at the
I know,
CVS.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the biggest culture shock
Well,
for me.
my
Yeah.
dad was
Why-
it was on a Sunday,
Yeah.
and we were visiting. Dan and I were visiting in San Antonio, and I get a call from my dad, and my dad's like, "Hey, could you pick me up some vodka?" And I'm like, "But Dad, it's Sunday," and he's like, "No, there's some places that sell it," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So I was like,
What kind
"All
of state
right,
is this?
yeah." I was
Yeah, you're thinking moonshine?
I know.
How far into the country do we have to drive to get this said
Dan
vodka?
and I- exactly. So Dan and I ended up at this Mexican food restaurant. I had a Fiji bottle. I poured the water out.
God.
I put it between my legs, made a makeshift like funnel with paper. And we kept on ordering these vodka shots. And at first she brought it out and it was with ice. And so I like tried to get it all in there and I was like, okay, this is gonna be a mess. So then we started ordering them like just, straight just shots. And then I was like, this is gonna take entirely too fucking long. So then we
expensive.
started doing doubles. And I swear to God,
Great idea.
that waitress looked at Dan and I like, what the fuck are these lushes doing on the
Well,
day
what
of
happened
Sabbath
was
in
that
Texas?
She'd put them down, and then she'd turn to see, oh, do you have enough tortillas? And then she'd come back and they'd be done.
Yeah.
Like,
God.
we were just pounding doubles. And she's like, oh, I can't wait till these guys leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see
She's like
these guys
calling, she's
stumble.
calling the cops right now, going,
Yeah.
It was the most expensive fucking
68
pint
bucks, 68
of
bucks.
vodka,
Oh, wow.
cheap ass vodka that I
Yeah, it
ever
was the
bought
cheap
in my
one,
life
wasn't it?
in a Fiji bottle. And I was like, Dad, you have no fucking clue how much I love you, man, because this was an ordeal. So I get that. I totally get it.
It's insane.
It is
Yeah.
insane.
But it's like kind of like Utah, and like the town where I went to high school, no bars. And well, I think they recently got a Chili's in, which you have to become
You
a member.
still have to become a member.
to go to
Chili's?
the
That's how I was at Texarkana.
to drink.
Yes.
Like at Chili's in Jacksonville, Arkansas, you have to become a member.
Man, I just want to like cruise around the South and like get memberships.
Just get membership.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
They
But,
do.
like, so no,
You get one
no,
of those like dual folders, like. brrrr,
and
falls
the town I
out.
grew up,
Dude.
the town I grew up, Jacksonville, Arkansas, was a dry city.
Oh wow.
So the city was dry, and it was right. It was 10 minutes from. It's like 15, 20 minutes from Little Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could drive like past the city and go buy booze.
Right.
But the town, Dry City, 2 strip clubs. It didn't make any sense whatsoever.
God bless America.
God bless
No,
America.
you understand? Do you realize what it's like to go into a strip club
In the
that
South.
doesn't
Sober?
serve alcohol?
In the South.
Sober?
Yeah.
Like,
In
you
the, in the
In the
South.
South. Do you know
No.
who works at a strip club that doesn't provide any type of
I
alcohol?
can just imagine
That's
the
18
stretch
up to.
marks.
I
Yeah.
know somebody.
It was the most disturbing experience.
I can
of my life.
imagine the C-section scars
It
and
was
the stretch marks.
Very disturbing.
Jesus Christ.
We're like, you want to like walk on stage and clothe them. Like, no, honey, no, look, here's $20. Put my jacket on. You'll be fine. Everything is good. Don't worry about it.
Oh shit!
Until this day, people, my friends would be like, hey, let's go to the strip club. And I'm like, no.
No! No!
That moment
I'm
is
scarred.
seared in my head. I'm like, I don't want to go to, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's different right now.
It's different when you're drunk.
Like, no, I don't know.
Oh my
I
God.
can't stand strip clubs. They make me so uncomfortable.
You think?
Yeah, Candace from here, from the bartender here at the Partisan, amazing woman, took me to my first strip club in San Luis Obispo, but it was just like a panty strip club.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I was just like, oh my God. And it was Jaglet, this band that she was in called Jaglet. And
Jaglet.
they took me in there and it was
good
just,
God.
I was just like, oh dude, this is crazy. And then the next one, I didn't go to another strip club for years. And then when I went to that strip club, I was just like, I can't do this. I want to like ask these women how their day was.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Actually, when it's weird when you're that guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, they're like, like maybe like you're getting a lap dance, you're like, it's like, ever been to college?
Yeah.
I got a forced lap dance at a
What
place.
is this? What was this?
Oh. I got a
This is my experience at the strip club.
I got a forced lap dance one, and no, seriously, it's like it was in Las Vegas, and it was straight up just like I'm at a strip club, and I'm just drinking and enjoying myself, and it's just that's how they make their money. I mean, whatever, that's
Right.
fine. That's
Oh, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
everybody's right to do what they want to do, and they're fucking running
yeah.
their game. So they were just like, oh, I want to do a dance. Some girl comes up, she want to do a dance. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm just drinking. She's like, well, if I'll just give you one, and if you like it, and I'm just like, the 2 minutes in, we're talking about Primus. And I'm just like, and
Is
it's
she
kind of the
whispering
same,
in your
it's kind
ear
of the same
saying
kind of thing.
Primus?
It's just like, yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Like,
No.
so did you like the Transformers cartoon movie, or did you like the TV show better? I mean,
See, so no alcohol. So it was. Did they have could they be all nude? Cause see, in Texas.
No, they weren't all nude. No, I don't
Okay,
think they
'cause
were
in
all
Texas
nude.
it's
no, they
weird.
were. It was because no alcohol.
I was gonna say, in
There's no
Texas
alcohol,
it's
yeah.
weird because if they sell alcohol, they cannot be. They have to have like a thong or something on. Now you can go to these non-alcoholic, but you can bring setups, and then they're like completely and totally naked. But
What's a
they're
setup?
scary. Setups are when you bring your own liquor.
Okay,
and
so it's
then-
like a club.
It's
But
more
not
like
like
a club.
club.
Right? No,
Oh,
But
not
just like
that.
just like
no,
a.
it's no, it's stretch marks and cesarean section scar clubs. That's what they are in Texas. It's like.
So you
don't
went
wanna
to
go in
strip
there.
clubs, and then
Yes.
you were like, I think I'm gonna go run
think
a
I'm gonna-
playhouse.
I think I'm going to be an
I went to
artistic
one-
director.
I went to one strip club. That's like-
And I had to cross
that's
3 states to get there.
I went to one strip club in my hometown, and that was enough.
Yeah.
So
Ever
did you major in theater?
I did.
Okay.
Well, so
And you went to
I was,
school
okay,
in-
I was nerdy. I was a smart kid.
Oh,
when I
no,
went to- I
not
was a
you.
Smart kid. I know I had. So when I ended up going to college, like I had like I'd tested out of a lot of my gen ed classes. So I spent the first year of college without a major because my parents were very like because
And you're
I have an older brother and I have my twin brother.
Thanks,
my twin
Dan.
brother
Thank you, baby.
has been all theater since the get-go. He's always wanted to be in theater, and my older brother was doing film
Oh, really?
at the time. Yeah, he's really interested in film. So my parents were like, Rob, we really think you should like get like a real job.
Why didn't you go into poli-science?
I did briefly.
I bet you did. I totally could see that.
So the whole first year, I'm doing like poli-sci classes, and I did like some, psychology classes, and then I took rock climbing and bowling.
Sorry. Awesome sport.
Oh my
Yeah,
So I
god.
spent my first year in college becoming like a really good rock climber and bowler.
That's awesome.
That's great life
Yeah.
skills.
I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready
Yeah.
for
I'm
life
ready for the
now.
world.
I'm ready to take on
Ready.
California.
But then, so then I ended up taking an improv class in the theater department. I just really liked it, and
Gee, I wonder why.
yeah. But then I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to become a major. So I ended up majoring in directing.
In directing.
I didn't major in acting. I was just like, you know what, I want to be a director because like I've always been really ambitious. So I've always like even when I was young, like to dictate the games that people would play.
No,
like,
not
we should do
you.
like this.
You're that
and then
dude.
we'll do this.
Yeah, you're totally that dude.
I'm
You will
that
play
asshole.
that.
I have that ass. It's like no,
Even
no,
if you don't want to, you will
you don't
play it.
have those ray guns. No, you have like swords. You have swords.
You're that kid who was just like when you were playing marbles, it was like it's like bug spray, you know, there's just like spider, and there's like bug spray. Foot.
So I was like, so I went to directing, and I've always been really interested in the management style, so that's kind of how that all started up.
So how did you end up here?
I got hired.
I know, but how?
Well, I was getting out of
Not
college.
how. I mean, I know that you're really talented, but
I was looking
How
for an
from there?
internship out of college, and I got 2 offers. One from the Playhouse, because we were hiring interns at the time, and then I got another one from Rhode Island, to work at a theater in Rhode Island. And which, interesting enough, my dad was in the Air Force, and the first place that he was stationed when he got out of school was Merced. So I
Oh, really?
I got a job offer at Merced. He's like, what?
Yeah.
really? So he was
He's
at
like, "You got
Castle?
Yeah, he's at Castle. He's
Wow.
like, you got a theater job offer in Merced?
Yeah.
There's no theater in Merced. And long story short, I don't like cold. I don't like cold weather. So I'm like, I don't want to go to Rhode Island.
Yeah, I don't
so I went
blame
to
you.
California.
Huh.
So,
Which, will you hand me my jacket?
And
'Cause
you've been
it's
here
cold.
ever since. Oh, you
Yeah.
can just shut that back
It's
door.
over there.
You just shut the back door. It'll
Oh,
stop
okay,
the
cool.
breeze.
so like 2004. So I came 2004, worked as an intern.
And you're
So 2004.
Yeah.
Okay.
you're not like an older guy, right? I mean, you're
He's a young lad.
you're younger.
31.
Right? 31.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've been doing this since 2004.
Well, I was an intern since 2004.
Oh, okay.
So I interned for 2 years, and then I was the tech director. I was responsible for all the building the sets.
Okay. And who does that now?
Chad.
Chad, who's
Yeah.
a fucking badass.
Yeah, he's
I fucking
he's
love
like
that
a
dude.
superhero kind of.
I swear, like
He's
if I was
handy
walking
with
down the
tools.
street, I would want that guy just like standing on building tops, just looking down.
Just
I'm
looking
telling
down.
you, seriously.
Assuring my
He'll-
safety,
He'll
you know,
pop a
like-
guy for you, man.
Oh,
He'll be
yeah.
like, hey, I'll take care
Like,
of it.
it's the thing is, I don't know if he really will, but it's just that thread is always there. Like he's
It
so
is.
like Chad's like awesome. Like he loves his friends. Like so, if you're his friend, like all of a sudden, like you're just walking down the street, he's like I will follow you to make sure you are safe.
Yeah.
We'll
No,
follow
he
you.
really will. He
You're like,
really
I feel
will.
really safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel really
Thanks,
safe.
Chatty. Yeah, I know.
So, so I was
Chatty?
tech director, Chatty.
Is this a thing?
No, I call him
No.
Chatty. He hates it.
He just likes Chad.
He
Yeah.
hates it, but I call him Chatty.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If you're a guy, just call him Chad.
Just call him Chad.
He doesn't mind if I call him something. It's
No, he-
okay.
I want to call him like Dash or something.
Dash. It's Dash.
Yeah, come on, Dash.
Be like,
Build that set, Dash. Oh, that's a big knife, Dash. Sorry, Chad. Sorry, Chad.
Chad was one of my friends too. Chad moved out of.
Did he
moved
move
out
out
of
the same
Arkansas.
time?
Like we went to high school. We went to middle school and high school together.
Oh,
Okay.
check it out. I didn't know
And
that.
so I moved out here in 2004. He came out just to come to California. He wanted to get out of Arkansas, so he came out and then was just doing stuff. And then when I became artistic director, which
And when was this?
this is maybe 2007, I think. So what happened is we lost our artistic director, and everyone was going around. I was like, well, we need to hire an interim, and I didn't like, I'd been, at that point I'd been in the company for so long. I didn't really like the choices they were throwing around, and I was like, all right, just let me do it. I'm cheaper than anyone
Look,
else. that
see,
you
it
talk
goes
to.
back. It goes back to the whole damn marble thing.
I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Rob Hypes got the job. He didn't even want it,
Well,
but he did it because he felt like someone had to that actually could.
knew what the fuck they were doing.
Like I felt like someone had to do it that cared about the theater and the community. And I'm
Right.
like, all these people that you're thinking about, I don't think they have the theater's best interest at heart. So it's like I want to do it. I've always wanted to do that kind of job. It's just not. But at that point, I was like 27.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I going to run like a $500,000 company at 27? I'm like,
And you went to
that's a
school
lot.
for directing
For just
experience.
directing, yeah.
So you had no idea as far as budget, and you had no
No.
idea about fundraising, and you
No.
had okay.
I had no idea about the
Okay.
business side. of
Yeah,
running
you didn't
the-
realize what you were about to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I know the feeling, bro.
for like the 4 years previous, like my job was like hanging lights and building sets. That was
Yeah.
that was what I did. And then of course I was involved with making
Right.
certain decisions, but overall like that's all I did. Like
Yeah. You're like, oh, now I have to be
I
like
was-
everything.
Did you direct though too?
I did eventually. I started directing like
Okay.
when I became tech director. But
Okay.
It was just like I got kind of thrown out. I volunteered, so I was the interim,
Interim.
artistic director, so they could do a search.
Yeah.
So then I started this big, huge search, all across the country. Everyone else was applying for the job that I was doing. And then they kind of just decided, well, he's already here, and he's doing it, the theater hasn't closed. So it's like, he's doing it well enough.
Right.
So we'll keep him around. So then they kind of made it official.
Did you eventually knock it in term pay? Like, would that move up?
Well, I'm pretty my problem is I'm a realist when it comes to like the money. So I'm like, look.
Right, you have to be.
So I'm like, look, and I've told the board, I'm plenty of look, this is they're like, this is how much that you would pay an artistic director of a theater this size. You can't afford that. This is what you can afford to pay me. So,
Yeah.
and then, and then this is what we can afford to pay the rest of our staff right now. So, we work on less. I mean, my staff is.
But you do really well though with your staff. I mean,
Yeah.
you try to. I mean, and I understand this to where you only have a certain amount as far as budget, but as in terms of I think even just like perks and kind of working conditions and that kind of thing. I think that.
Try and keep the atmosphere light.
Yeah,
man.
I think you really try to do that.
And try and not be like, I'm not a big stickler on vacation time and sick days, because I'm like, whatever, we all work 6-7 days a week anyway, so I'm like, why am I gonna,
Right.
if you're like, hey man, can I just take like 3 days off? I'm like, yeah, you
Right.
can take 3 days off, that's fine.
Yeah, it makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're always there all day. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
fixture in downtown, I'm always there. I'm like, hey.
Yes, you are.
I'm just like, girl, we're still here.
We're
Yeah.
still here.
We're open today.
We're still here.
Do you have plans like after is you just want to stick with this for a while, or are you
I
just
think
like
so.
I'm happy, like I'm just good, I'm
I'm
happy.
happy. Well, this is interesting because I get asked that a lot. Like, well, do you ever want to go work at another
You have
theater, or
aspirations.
do you ever want to go do this? And like for me, like the job that I have right now, like I get to run a company.
Yep.
I get to create things that I really want to create, and I love the community that I have just around the Playhouse. I'm like, it's kind of like, it's like, where else am I going to go? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have like a master's, I don't have like, I have a job experience, but I don't have like that master's degree, which is magical, where you can be like, this
Right.
magically means
I
Which
can
is
do
so
anything.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so funny to me
have a
because I think
PhD.
experience
Yeah.
just trumps it.
And I
It's
think
a
it
food.
does too.
I always thought it was a food. Like,
A fud. A fud.
that's how learned I am.
I'm a fud.
I'm gonna get my food.
I'm a fud.
And
And
my,
similarly, this is my master's degree.
Yeah. That's the same
It's
thing.
the same thing.
It's ingrained in your
I only
head.
have this movement.
anything.
Anything.
So what do you like most about the Playhouse? What do you like most about what you do?
I like working with people. That's the big thing. I think working with I like that we're a community theater because we used not to be. We used to be like trying to emerge as a regional theater and hire actors from all across the country to come do shows, and I was never big into that. Like my big thing is like taking the community and creating work with the people that you have,
Right.
which I think is kind of interesting because we've been able to do some really, really cool shows with just like you got you have a business and RC runs a business, and now you guys are doing this show, and it's my job to make sure that everyone is good, like making sure that I can push you guys to the fullest, like I see potential there, and push people to the fullest of their potential, so that way when the audience comes, they don't see the difference between like a professional show or a community show, you know.
Well, and I think that's one of your greatest attributes, as far as I'm concerned, is that you do. You have a very interesting style, and you haven't seen it yet. But wait till he starts to like pull these like fucking analogies and shit out of his head, like when he's like telling you how to feel or whatever. And he never tells you how to feel, but he'll be like, think about. I don't even know.
Yeah, well,
dude. It's amazing that he just like with me, he wasn't even directing the show, but he came in for Dearly Departed, and he's like, are you happy that he's dead? And I'm like, no, I'm not happy that he's dead. I just think it's funny that he's painted up like a whore, And he's like, well, you need to, blah, 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 and that kind of thing. And I just think it's really interesting how you pull that out and make people, kind of think in a very different way and give everybody, kind of an equal opportunity to shine. Because
It's
I
fun.
came in and I was green. I had no idea.
Hey,
when I first auditioned
you're
for
fucking-
9 to 5, I was whispering on the stage.
You're throwing cheese balls at the fat kid.
I was
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, fucking-
seriously. I mean, that's what it was. It was.
Are you a tenor? Or are you
it
a baritone? Or are you, I'm like, I have no clue. I'm really
But
not
it
sure.
was. I mean, it was very much like that.
Better tone.
I'm a
But it was very much
Better
like
tomato.
that. But you gave me a chance, and and I really appreciated that. And I think that again, going back to that community theater mentality, I think that really is so important on giving people just kind of the chance to. That's why I'm so excited about Jesus Christ Superstar, because there's so many people
Hey,
that
Dan.
I haven't seen.
Can I get a Green Flash West Coast IPA?
Oh, say it into the camera.
Can I get a Green Flash West Coast IPA?
There you go.
Now on sale.
Shout out. Yeah.
It's actually a really good deal. No, I'll take a. Am I getting too drunk?
No, you're not getting.
It's supposed to be a
drunk.
drinking show.
There's no such
Isn't
thing.
it?
It's
Only
a
reason
total
I
drinking
signed on.
show.
That's the only reason why I'm here.
It's a total drinking show. I know, that's the only reason. I said,
Yeah.
come on, you drink.
Yeah.
You just talk and
Oh,
you
I'll
drink.
do it.
That's cool.
No, it's cool. No, that's what's awesome, because I don't think what a lot of people realize is like Merced has a really talented community, and I think like everyone should jump on that. Like even the city should jump on the fact that there's so much talent and this entire community that like that's something that you could sell Merced as this really talented arts community that has a really burgeoning just cultural scene, and really try and expand on that.
I think it's like people just don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like even like
Not yet.
Green
even
Flash IPA.
is it really?
Yeah.
Jesus
I
Christ!
just bottled it for you.
Did you really? Well, I really wanted the Green Flash.
Next time. Yeah, now I have to drink that down quick.
Oh God! Give me a straw.
Uh,
But I don't think that. I don't know. I don't know if like not people like organizations, not like the city or the college or anything like that knows what to do with it. I think it's more like the community.
Yeah.
Actually, the people themselves. I don't think that they know what to do with it.
They don't.
Just because it's such a new thing. Like the idea of like, oh, there's this cool show happening, and or like
Yep.
there's this like there's all this shit happening. People just don't know like how to
No.
support it. They're like, but I only go to if I want to go to a show, I'm gonna go to a show in San Francisco because
Yeah.
that's where you
Right.
go to shows. And it's
Right.
like and like people just don't know how to like take advantage of this.
Well, and I think that there's even more of a just a hook with that kind of community theater aspect here, especially because we are a small community, and we've, Dan and I have found this just like on social media, to where when you throw things out and they recognize people who are in the shows, they're like, oh,
yeah.
well, shit, yeah, I'm gonna go. I want to see them. I want to, support that kind of thing. So it is a very, people don't know what to do, but I think now I'm hoping that things are starting to kind of be a little bit more cohesive with that.
Well, so, because there's always something happening. I mean, that's always the thing.
there's always something happening.
That's what I mean,
where
like, and
Which is
always- and
incredible.
People would always be like, "There's nothing going on."
No, that's
Now you're
bullshit.
there,
That's
like, there's,
bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you could literally plan your weekend around what's happening.
you
in
could plan your whole
downtown.
fucking week.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
there's
just
something
like-
going on every single night in Merced
Yep.
between all the different places, like
Yep.
everybody doing everything. I mean, sure, some of the stuff you might have to go out of your comfort zone, but it's like,
But-
there's stuff that's there.
Right.
I mean, going out of your comfort zone is what it's all about.
Yeah, that's
And
what I
Dan's
think.
doing the
It's-
hips.
It's going out of your comfort
It's
zone.
going out of your
I
comfort
was
zone.
comfortable now. So, because there's frequently like so we would get out of a show at the Playhouse, and then so we get out of the show at the Playhouse. It's about 10 o'clock, and then so then we go to the Partisan,
Right.
and they have live music happening the same night. I'm like, you know what? That's like you could plan the entire evening around that.
Totally.
Plus there's over at Coffee Man, they have something going on every day.
Totally, and that's how
it's-
come I've always said, when the artistic community is going out and asking for money, they should really do an analysis about how much money is going back into the area businesses when they're doing it.
Oh, yeah, totally.
People are going to want to look good when they go to the theater, so most likely they're going to go and they're going to, get a new dress, or they're
Yeah,
going to do
but at
this,
the
they're
same
gonna do
time,
that.
if you go with like wardrobe, I mean, that's where Merced like fails miserably.
Not at the Goodwill.
Goodwill, that's corporate too. I mean, it's like, the people just don't like. Okay, there's like the Armory, right? Like the Armory is local, badass clothes. Little pricey, too pricey for me. I wear fucking sweatshirts in the winter and button ups in the,
That's
but-
a nice hat you got there.
Yeah, it's a very nice hat.
Yeah, I like this hat. My favorite thing about the Giants is they beat the St. Louis Cardinals in the playoffs. Did you hear about that?
Ooh.
But anyways,
Be
so,
nice.
But I think that, like one of the
Be nice. Them are fighting words. Come on now.
maybe he'll say that next year. But so people. That's the one. I think that's the one area where Merced suffers, is supporting local. I think it really hurts, and it's just like I have a local business, and I'm opening another local business, and I've owned local businesses since I was like 19 years old. And Merced does not come through. They do not come through when it comes to a lot of it. I mean, yes, people we do great business here. You have successful shows at the Playhouse, but it's like, what percentage of Merced is actually supporting this shit? And like, what percentage is going to the Armory, and what percentage is going to fucking Walmart, Target,
and yes,
JCPenney's,
and I totally
Mervyn's,
agree with
like,
you. I mean, it is.
Mervyn's is not Mervyn's anymore.
No, Mervyn's is not Mervyn's anymore.
No.
You might as well just say Gotch Talk. Jeez, what the fuck?
RC hasn't been to that side of Merced.
No, and I agree with
2009.
you. I totally agree with you.
To a Playhouse show and end up at the parks.
Right.
Oh, it's
Because they came down here.
Right.
No. There's certain
And
thing to be
eat,
said that,
and,
that
you
if
know-
if you engage in the activities that are provided, that you're supplying business to other businesses too.
Right.
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, so it's like, for instance, you come over to the Partisan and you're hanging out and you get hungry. And then, all right, I'm going to go to JR Tacos
Yeah.
over there. I'm going to get some tacos, and I'm going to come back. I'm going
Right.
to eat a taco.
And I'm gonna drink some more,
You know,
right.
stuff like that. So you could say that, yeah, I think all the businesses are can be really like...
cohesive.
Well, the
cohesive
good-
and it's all interrelated.
Yeah.
the people that like the businesses that actually know what the fuck is going on are very supportive of each other.
Yeah.
But then there's also the businesses that don't give a fuck about anybody except for themselves. And those are the
Right.
people that usually come from out of town, or they're from town, but they got a spoon shoved so far up their fucking nose
Right.
that it's fucking with their brain, And then there's like, I'm gonna take over this shit. I'm gonna
But
fucking.
you're right. But at the same time, then
Excuse me, but I'm gonna fucking open a place named after myself, and and
But
serve
look at
frog
your
wah,
business.
whatever the fuck it's called, and piss everybody off in
that's
town.
illegal now. But
Frog
no,
wah?
I think that's illegal now.
Frog wah?
I think
I don't
that's
know. I'm-
illegal.
I've been vegan for 13
think
years.
it's
I don't know what
illegal.
frog wah
I know
is.
you are vegan.
Fog Wah is the reason to become vegan.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
actually a good reason, one of the top 5 reasons to become vegan. which is-
Fatty duck liver.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's fatty duck
They
liver.
force feed a duck.
Yes.
Oh, God.
And large.
And the next topic
And
is,
a
hey, you know what?
large-
Okay,
yeah.
have you ever thought about producing your own version of Thundercats?
Thundercat?
Straight up. Okay, no, seriously.
No,
think about
okay.
this.
I think about that a lot, actually. Or I look at certain cartoons and shows. I'm like, because that's all Broadway is now. It's like just we're reproducing anything that ever got produced before.
Right,
So
yeah,
I'm like, I look at Thundercats. I'm like, you probably could make that either like something like really. Like you want to make it really kitschy and funny. Like
Yes.
you want to make it serious. Like I
Campy.
recently discovered like they made an Evil Dead musical
Thank
Oh,
you,
wow.
baby.
based off of the movie Evil Dead, and they made it into a musical, and it's just hella just kitschy and like
Yeah.
funny.
Just
and
campy.
it's campy.
Yeah.
And they just embrace it. So Thundercats, you would have to embrace all those elements as an adult
Yeah.
that you notice about Thundercats today.
Which would be awesome.
Which, by the way, taking it back to how we started, James Lipton wrote the theme song to Thundercats.
To Thundercats. I know.
No shit.
Yes.
The guy on Inside the Actor Studio
Yes,
wrote
James
theme
Lipton.
songs
Wow.
to Thundercats. I have no idea.
That kind of laugh, it doesn't matter who does it, usually gets me just a little bit. It's like a clown nose to me.
His glasses down.
No, seriously. Okay, so you are the artistic director, so you
Yeah.
can, which means like, you can do just about anything you want to do
Yeah, within reason. Yeah.
within.
Within reason.
But the word art is in there.
Yeah.
Because it's
you,
like
baby.
I don't have to listen to reason. You can do whatever you want. You
Yeah.
think like have you come up with some ideas that are just so fucking outlandish and you're just like, like redoing like I've recently thought about, and I know this may sound ridiculous, but doing just like redoing. It's almost like a cover band for theater. You know?
Okay.
And I think maybe one night, it might have been later in the night. I think I may have talked to you about
Probably.
this,
You
but
might have, yeah.
but like redoing, like a cover band would do, like episodes of Cheers, and like episodes of like Three's Company, and like episodes of MASH,
That's
and like
fucking brilliant.
and just doing
As
these
live theater.
as live theater.
No, so they have a show like that in LA. That it's called the very Brady Bunch, where they redo Brady Bunch episodes.
It all happens in a
Live
house.
theater.
It's just one set.
Yeah, and so they redo it. And the problem with that is,
What's going on, guys? I need to talk to you about renting a screen.
okay,
Your biggest screen, pull-down screen that you have.
okay.
Okay. All right. We're-
Hi.
But the problem with that is, and I've looked into that. It's still royalty stuff because you have to get the royalties for that.
God, I'd
So
love
call
to
it-
do Three's Company though.
Wouldn't that be fun?
So I'm not
Cheers!
saying- so-
Cheers!
Cheers.
So
Yeah, well, you
Jesus
got the
Christ.
setup.
So,
Shit.
so I can't say I can't say on camera in front of a large viral audience that that's not a good idea to just do it.
Yeah.
But it is a good idea to think about it and try to advertise it in a way that the Cheers people don't get what you're what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's also I love that kind of stuff. Like
You're right, isn't it? I just think that'd
I
be
think that would
fun.
be awesome.
And I think it like by doing something like that, so like tying into the mainstream, it would attract. I mean, the same ideas as a tribute band.
Yeah.
You know, not a cover band.
Right.
You know, because the cover bands, you know, I mean, those are just working musicians making some money, but and just enjoying playing music. But for me, it's not something that I'm interested in because it's like, oh, I don't want to hear fucking Brick House.
And you could.
I hate the song Brick House, but that Funky Music White Boy I think is one of the worst songs ever, and I cannot ever go
Played
see
at
it.
every
Like,
single damn wedding
yeah,
ever.
yeah, and it's just it's horrible. But I like tribute bands, you know. I like tribute
Right.
bands. So I enjoy them.
Right.
So I like tribute theater.
Oh, which that man, Scott, that David Bowie tribute band
What up,
that you
Diggy?
had here the other time, the other day, was fucking awesome.
Oh, bitch! I thought you were leaving that painting.
Oh, look!
Let me see
James
it.
Deans, come
Here.
on.
Right.
He'll be one of our guests soon.
Yeah, lean in a little closer.
Awesome.
Yeah, lean in the camera.
He left a painting here. This painting was done by Jeannie Deans.
From his mama.
Okay, Jeannie Deans was is still James's mom, but one of the most badass motherfuckers that I've ever met in my entire life. And she was the artist that her art and her attitude created everything that I am. And I think, for sure. Amazing
And me
person.
too.
Yeah, and James too. And
It's pretty good.
And
Bobby and
Bobby
Joey and Chancey and everyone
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
Awesome.
She basically let.
Oh,
like,
that's just
Here, come over here.
She basically let like 20 Merced kids live at our house and become themselves.
she was the hippie queen.
Yeah, that's how we call
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
I
I was
aspire to be
hoping you were
her.
leaving that here, but that's cool. I got enough of her work in my house.
Love it. Love it.
Awesome.
No, we'll see you. We'll see you soon.
Cool.
Yeah. Take care. And this is the beauty of podcasts. Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's
see?
so free.
Just
You ever thought about doing a podcast in a pod? Wearing cast?
Yeah. I don't know about that, man.
Just being very literal with everything.
It's a podcast.
I play it.
So,
Oh, my IPA?
Yeah.
okay. So what you love about, being the artistic director, what do you dislike? I mean, what are the challenges? What are sometimes when you're just like, ugh.
Raising money. That's
Oh.
raising
With the
money.
whole non-profit thing?
Yeah, and like, because I mean, what a lot of people don't understand is that it's like, oh, you do shows, that's great. So obviously our shows keep us, running, but that's not
Afloat.
even the case.
Right.
You sit there and because you have to understand, it's like we can't literally keep a show running every single weekend and then magically put up another show. So we need those we need dark time and time to prep and time to. So we need to.
That's why you have seasons?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why we do seasons because we need time to prep and time to we just did Dearly Departed. For me to be able to okay, as soon as Dearly Departed goes down, and then I open a whole another show still in the same space. It's like.
Are you doing another show over there at the Multicultural Center?
Not until
Okay.
May, but that's what it would be like.
Okay.
Right.
Keeping the continuous stream of revenue
Right.
because things are expensive. Shows are expensive.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend a certain amount of money on.
How
shows.
much is a normal, just like how much? I mean, how
Just take it
much
as like
is
a pie
Jesus
chart.
Christ Superstar compared to Dearly Departed?
Okay, well, one
Yeah,
for
exactly.
we call it a straight show with Dearly Departed. It's a show without music, so it's a straight show. That will run a lot cheaper than a musical because the royalties will be much lower.
Right.
And then we're not hiring in musicians or a musical director or people that kind of people that have that niche thing that you
Right.
need to do a musical. So we could do a straight show for about between $5,000 to $9,000 probably. Where a musical will cost us anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000.
Right.
But we play on the low end of the spectrum
Right.
as far as theaters are concerned, because I'm a nickel and dimer. I'm like, no, we're going to spend exactly this much, and we're going to make sure our people work really hard to reuse this thing and make it look completely different. So,
And you guys do, and you
Yeah,
do
an
that
amazing
very
job
well.
at that.
I mean, you
Amazing job.
repurpose things very well, and
and that's the point. I mean,
And-
and so when you look at it, if we're spending $15,000 on a musical, we'll make 30 grand with the audience and everything else that we're selling. So we'll make 30 grand. So we're still only making a profit of 15 grand.
and you still have payroll, and you still have
which people
paying for
right
the
now are-
building, and
which-
you still have overhead. I mean, yeah.
People are hearing that and it's like, oh, you're making 30 grand. And it's like,
No.
That's like it's like having a local business,
Right.
and your only money you're making for the entire
Right.
month is like 30
Right.
grand.
And then
it's
you know
like-
that as a
and-
business owner.
and
I
then
mean,
it's
there's
like,
salaries.
That's
there's,
not enough.
You know,
Yeah.
payment. There's you know, electricity.
Cost of
there's
goods.
cost
you
of
know,
Yeah,
goods.
cost of
all
goods
that
sold,
or
which is
all of a sudden
almost all
something,
of it.
You know,
Right.
Maintenance, you know,
Right.
That's the other thing. So yeah, people look at it like, oh wow, this show was, you know, like because we did Andy and it was sold out every day. It's like, wow, this show was popular. Obviously they're doing well.
Yeah.
But you know, generally what that means is that you know, in the month of November we didn't have anything happen.
Right.
Right.
So most of Andy, you know, so we, you know, that all goes to pay back, you know, that month that we didn't have anything going on.
Right.
And that month that you had Annie was also like making up for the month that you had Parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, it all kind of runs together. You know, it all runs together. That, you know,
Right.
and so it's interesting because we have staff and then we have teachers, and you know, so we create different streams of revenue with, like, because we have a conservatory program.
Yeah, and,
where we
and I was
teach.
going to ask that. Yeah, tell me about the conservatory, because I think that that's another gem that not many people know about.
Well, we teach acting, dance, and voice classes basically around the like MCOE school schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, your kid wants to take an acting
Merced
class.
County of Education.
And so your kid wants to take a class, so every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, they come in, they take the class, and it's kind of rolling along.
And what are the ages?
We have different levels, so it depends. So we teach like acting 1 and acting 2, you know, kind of like at your age. So we'll do from, you know, 5 to, you know, 9, or 5 to 10, something like that. And then we'll go from like, you know, 10 to 15. And
Right.
then we'll go up from that, just to put them in kind of their age grade, and just give them an arts education. Because that's my big thing too with this area is like I'm big into arts education, like not just theater, but like music and like. you
What's
know,
being
just
cut from the
visual
public
art. That's what I
education
mean. So
center,
like, you know,
or
my staff, like
system.
our big
Yeah.
thing that's really important to us is arts education and doing anything that we can to provide it in schools or, you know, provide it with kids that come there, because I think that's.
How is it working with the MCOE? And the only reason I hate correcting people. The only reason I'm going to correct you right now is
I'm
because
sorry.
I'm sure Nathan Caveto's watching
Yes,
this.
he is.
And
Go
if I
ahead.
don't say MCOE stands for Merced County
Yeah.
Office of Education.
I thought I said that.
You said of education.
I thought I said office. I
Merced
think
County
I
Office
And I can just
of Education.
And I can
maybe
just-
I slurred.
And I can just imagine Nathan right now counting our ums. And I'm just like, eh.
Well, at least
Yeah.
we're not sweating.
Well, and he's probably pissed off that I'm not drinking an actual West Coast IPA. But
You get that
yeah,
next time.
but working with MCOE, is that something that's, is it easy, or is it just like double the headache because you got to deal with your board and their board?
No, because I don't need that approved by my board, because generally what it is with them, like, so for instance, this season we're doing touring shows all across the county.
Oh, wow.
Where they provided half of the cost of those touring shows, and the other school then provides the other half.
Now, who arranged that? Is that, I mean, is that,
That
you
was
and
everyone. That was
Noel,
Nathan
or
was
is
part of
that?
that was me, that was Noel was part of that, Steve
Yeah.
Gomes was a part of that.
Noel-
Like everyone kind of got together and like, hey, and let's make this happen. Let's, you know, this is a
And
good
Steve
idea.
Gomes is the superintendent. Okay. And Nathan is the public information officer. Did I
Yeah.
get his title right?
Yeah, PIO, yeah.
Okay.
Now, okay, so everybody thinks that the school system is cutting art completely, right? And it does seem like that they are for the most part. I mean, they're cutting the arts and keeping the money for fucking football, you know, football.
And administrative costs.
And well, yeah, of course, but I mean, football. But they,
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I mean, there's a lot of people working in the organization
Yeah.
that are so fucking down to like keep arts in it, and they're hand over fist, like trying to
I've
like
had
keep it
really
going and
great
keep it living.
conversations with like Nathan in particular,
Yeah.
that was really like letting me know some of the programs they were trying to do, and
Yeah.
like no, there's some people that are fighting for the arts, and that's awesome. I mean, it's
Yeah,
always,
and
like,
and,
really
I,
cool.
and believe me, I mean, when I don't mean, I mean, there are some huge advocates and huge, you know, I mean, just people who have a lot of passion behind that. So that's not what I'm saying.
I'd say the majority.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
I mean, I don't think there's many teachers that are like, they're like, you know what,
Right.
let's ditch the arts.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's, you know what?
Right. No, I agree. So thank you for clarifying that, because no, that's not what I meant.
You
But
always know, but see, just
But with the
working in the
conservatory-
system, but working in the system, it's like when people ban or people like
Holy
cut-
shit.
woo!
It's like when people cut funds.
Where were you on the morning of December 21st?
I don't know anymore. I'm sorry. It's like when people cut funding to the NEA, the National Endowment of the Arts, or
Arts,
like
right.
PBS. You know, you look at it, and it's the easiest thing to cut. It looks like because it's so simple to cut that out of the system.
Right.
But then when you look at like arts funding in general, even in schools, it's such a minuscule amount that it doesn't really even really affect anything. You know, it's like cutting arts programs doesn't really affect like it doesn't really affect like your overhead. It doesn't really affect like huge programs, but it looks good because you're like, we're trying to balance the budget, so we're going to cut the arts.
But it's
Yeah.
so
But it doesn't.
affects.
The problem is it doesn't because it's so small.
But it,
As
but
it is,
and
yeah.
small as far as maybe that financial, and it doesn't impact it, and I agree. But what it does to the children.
Oh no, I agree with that.
What about the children?
What about the children?
No, I agree with that part. Like I totally agree with how
and that's
like,
why
I the social aspects of having arts in schools I think is really important. But I'm saying if you're looking at it from like a business standpoint,
Right.
when you want to make send a message out to people, being like I'm responsible with money, you cut the art program.
right.
Because it's easiest to cut because
It's easiest to cut.
it's because there's the least amount of funding going into that
Yeah,
program.
Right.
So it's the least amount to cut. You know why? Because the arts program isn't making the same amount of money that the football program is making, or
Right.
whatever.
It's
But
like, it's like going shopping and it's like I'm gonna save money. I'm not gonna buy ketchup.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
no,
like, look
oh,
at
wow.
me. I'm cutting shit off my list left and right. Got rid of ketchup.
That's an awesome fucking.
Got rid of
investing. Shit.
I got rid of mustard.
Yeah, and
I
I'm not
got rid
buying
of-
pickles. Damn
of
it.
one
no
bottle of
pickles.
water.
But I bought
Yeah.
a lot of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Just bought a lot of mayonnaise.
Bought a lot of mayonnaise. We did put money into mayonnaise.
Yeah.
So that we could
Grease
make
the
up.
system.
So we could make. So we could grease the system. So we can make up for the loss. You know?
I bought a lot of mayonnaise.
No,
And
no.
so- and then some sort of like things to put in the mayonnaise. I
Yeah.
can change it to like ranch. I can change
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
anything.
good. No, so with the conservatory, with the conservatory, it's like, yeah, okay, that was a weird analogy, but no, it was perfect.
I like it.
But with the conservatory, you do. So you give these children an outlet, I think, to do. I mean, you guys just had the Tempest
Yeah.
last week, and
And for our concert, we charge like $30 a month.
it's cheap.
Four sessions, $30 a month. That's like.
And they go through acting, they go through voice, they go. I mean, there's a lot of different components in the program, right?
Yeah. No. Well, for a class. So if you take an acting class,
Okay.
it's $30 a month.
Okay.
So that's basically it's 4 weeks a month.
So $60 a month if you wanted to take
Basically,
freaking
it's
voice
$8.
and yeah.
Basically, it's $8 a week.
Yeah.
Now,
It's unbelievable.
if you want to hire a babysitter on an hour, our class lasts an hour. If you think about it, our class lasts about an hour. So basically, you're paying us $8 an hour.
$8 an hour to
So
educate your kids
to educate
too.
your kid. So I'm like, $8 an hour, really?
Do you go out there and tell people, like, when you're asking for money, do you go out there and share this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
And does it just not
who does
click?
that? Like who goes out there and tells people? Who is your community liaison?
I go out there in the community and I do. So I have Chip Corse, my marketing guy. He's my communications guy, who sends out all the written stuff, and then kind of he and I talk so that way we can get kind of like the brand together, so we know what him and I want to want to focus on as far as the brand of the Playhouse Merced. But anytime that there's a speaking engagement, I tend to go to those to speak to the community. So
Such a trip, being such a key figure in a nonprofit organization. It's nonprofit, right?
yeah, we're nonprofit.
Being my sister is the program director for the enrichment center that's at the Merced Multicultural Arts Center. Such a great program. They work in the arts with developmentally disabled adults, and but her job is not just making sure that people show up on time. It's also writing for grants.
Right.
It's also making sure
It's
that they have
huge.
enough
Yeah.
clients and it's a trip.
It's huge.
It's
It
so
really
much
is.
responsibility.
That's
Does
what
it
we-
does it stress you out?
Yeah, sometimes.
That's why
Yeah.
Tommy's always going like this.
I know. I have shoulder
He's
problems.
got the shoulder
Yeah.
thing.
Because it's I mean, running a business is stressful, and I have 3 partners that all have the same responsibility as I do. So
Yeah.
if we fuck up and we do bad, I can be like, your fault too. But for you, it's this is on your head. Not to add stress to your shit, but it's just
that's my personality though. I could sit there and I could be because I have people oh, this got messed up, so that's your fault. But I always assume it's my fault because I didn't communicate it clearly. So if something happens in a different branch that I'm not because we have our tech guy and our education person, we have our whole staff.
but you're the leader, so
Yeah.
everything falls on you, and
Yeah.
you have to accept
But I
the
think that's how it
responsibility.
should be. Yeah, I think that's how it kind of like if the business fails, I mean, I think that should be my fault. And
Or the shows are bad.
yeah, or if the shows are bad,
Or if you don't pick the right, like,
Yeah.
whatever, like,
Yeah.
it's all your fault.
yeah, pretty much.
And how, when this, like,
That's
this,
a lot of pressure, but yeah.
It is, yeah. I mean, but like I don't know, like myself, I like to deal with pressure. Like I might,
Yeah.
but I shut down sometimes. Like
Yeah.
do you find yourself like just shutting down? Like
Yeah.
you're like in the middle of a production, and you're just like,
No,
fucked. I need to get away for a
I
second.
will. Well, sometimes I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
He won't do it until after the production.
Yeah.
Oh, you
He'll
can
go
hold
into
out.
hiding.
Yeah. After production, I'll go into hiding.
He'll go into hiding. But you handle it really
I'll
well.
disappear, Yeah.
Yeah.
I've learned to deal with pressure really, really well, but it's in the vein that, look, I'm gonna make sure this happens, and make sure this project goes up. It goes up, and then it disappears, so I can be like, I don't know,
Yeah.
cry. in my
Well,
bathtub.
yeah, and I think this year, I mean, especially has been
with bubbles.
incredibly
Nice glass of wine.
This year has been incredibly challenging for you
Yeah.
on like so many levels, and I think that you've handled it really, really well because you really have been. I mean, you just, the whole entire season, you've been
Yeah.
way up here, while I think other people just would have like crawled into a fetal
Yeah,
position.
it's true. I like. There's a lot of times where I mean, we've been doing business next to each other, like 3 businesses apart or whatever, for like the last 5 years since
Yeah.
we opened. And I have seen you out in the back so many times, pacing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not on the phone, not talking to anybody, but just like walking, just
and
stepping,
doing
stepping
that,
on the
and
curb,
doing this, and
stepping on
doing
the curb,
this.
stepping down, and just like, and
Yeah.
it's like,
I'm thinking.
and I think, like, I think
Yeah.
about it, like, but just so you know, like, people do, even though people in line at the grocery store might not know what the Merced, like Playhouse Merced is,
Yeah.
the people that do, they all appreciate the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
they all do,
yeah.
and they,
Yeah.
and they all
And
know what it
appreciate
made.
the fuck out of you.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting is like they know
Yeah.
they know what you're doing, and
Yeah.
everybody, unless you're a total fucking dipshit, which there are,
Every now and then, yeah.
people know that there
Plenty.
is somebody in charge of everything,
Yeah.
and the people that know actually who you are admire you and appreciate you for everything that you do, and they know that you're doing a fucking
Right.
knocking
Yeah.
tits job.
Right.
You know?
Knocking tits and hips.
Knocking tits and hips.
It's always interesting, It's like because we have a really good staff now. We all get along.
You do.
We all work really, really hard, and it's like, and we all work. For the most part, you sit there and like, oh, I know what you're worth.
Yeah.
And maybe one day,
Yeah.
one day. But we're all.
But they
we're all
know.
Working, everyone believes in what we do as an organization.
And they
so that's
also
what
know
always-
that you believe what you just said.
Yeah.
And I think that goes a long way in the sense that, if I could pay you more, if I could give you more, I would. Because I know that you would. I mean, you're the first person that if, people are doing work for you, or even like in some of the theater community, I mean, when, they need something, I mean, and you never publicize it. I'm outing you right now. You will be the first person to go, okay, what can we do to help, and what exactly do you
shouldn't out me
need?
like that.
I'm outing you.
No.
I'm outing you. Outing you because I really do. I know how much you do.
Can people volunteer?
Absolutely.
They can.
Yes.
Because we just had somebody today that was asking us about, they wanted to volunteer doing hair and makeup.
Oh yeah.
And they, I don't know if they have the experience or not, but it's something they're interested in doing. They're pretty excited about the idea.
Yeah, and we're working on that too. It's like we're really trying to get much more volunteer based and getting a lot of volunteers just that want to come around and help out and just at least meet the people.
Yeah.
Meet the people that we have on staff, because we have really great staff people that can really, I think volunteers can learn a lot from these people. And just coming in and just hanging out, like, it's like for us, it's like we want everyone to take part in what we do.
Well, it's awesome
Cool.
because in turn they become proponents for the Playhouse,
Yeah.
and they become like your cheerleaders out on the outside. So then you have like a whole army of people who are going, oh my God,
Okay, so
I know it.
how do people join your army?
Our
How
army,
do people join your theatrical army?
I just drop by the Playhouse and talk to me, and just
And the
let me
Playhouse-
know
You
if you're
can,
interested.
and there's a Playhouse Merced fan page.
Yeah.
On
Well, there's also a website.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes,
our
there's a
Facebook,
website.
Our Facebook's the best thing.
Yes, I think
'cause
so.
You get on our Facebook, you're like, hey, I want to volunteer, and then like somebody will jump on that.
Okay, so here's my problem with your Facebook.
What's up?
Is your Facebook is like a group.
Yeah.
And it
That's
needs to be a fan page.
It needs to be a page.
Yep.
Your Facebook group is annoying as shit.
Really?
But yeah, okay. So it's like my first time
It needs to be a fan page.
It needs to be. It
I've
needs to
had
be a
this
page. It needs to
What
be
is
like
the
a full out.
difference?
A group is.
I'm
You
very.
have to be a member.
A group you
Yeah.
have to.
Be a-
It's
be
like
a
it's
member.
like being like in the alcoholic club.
Okay.
In Texarkana.
Okay.
You have to be a member. With a
Okay.
fan, all they have to do is like the page, and it's that simple.
Oh.
When you're a group, you've got to be approved. I mean, it's like being kind of a friend.
And it doesn't look the same.
No,
like there's
it
like
doesn't.
I mean, if you know,
It doesn't.
Like,
It's just the pictures that are up
Yeah.
above.
Yeah,
You
and it's-
can't brand it. Yeah.
so let's do that. Let's make me happy.
Okay. I'll
I think
look
it's-
into that.
If
I
you
don't
know
like to be.
somebody who's in
To
social
be very
media,
truthful,
then-
I know very little about how to use. I mean, look, because you guys have your phones here. I'm gonna again. I'll show you my phone. This is what my phone looks like.
Hey, Rob, the 90s called and they want your
You got
This
the
is my phone.
BlackBerry.
This is the $45 phone you can buy that I put my.
No, I you know, I
No, no, no.
I will
Like-
have to
But
say.
I'm so like technology like unaware of like anything.
So who
going
does your
on.
tech shit?
Huh?
Who does your tech shit?
Everyone else but me.
I know someone who's doing some of your tech shit right now.
Uh huh.
It's the same guy who's the producer of the show.
Dan.
I think Dan could set you up
Okay.
with a legit
No,
Facebook page,
and-
right?
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's make this happen.
We
Then
absolutely
this will
could.
happen.
But we have to go through. I mean, there's
Yeah.
just
There's
certain little.
There's
aspects-
channels, but we all have clickers.
Yeah.
But
Like,
yeah.
let's- yeah,
Let's
like-
do it.
Yeah,
Just
no,
set it up
I
right now.
agree. I agree, and I have said that time and time again that I think it would be better to have a fan page just like it, and then you're going to reach more people. And then what happens
See,
is.
I had no idea that this
Yeah,
happened. I
yeah.
just
What
thought
happens
people
is
would
when
go,
you're a
"I like
group,
this."
nobody knows when you join the group.
It
But
just-
if you like a page, then it's gonna come up on Facebook that so and so liked this page, and then they're gonna go,
Their 10 friends will
oh,
like the page too.
Oh,
Whatever. That's
okay.
just Facebook. It's just a tiny thing that's happening right now. I mean, don't worry
just a
about it.
tiny
Yeah,
thing.
But okay, but you
Just
can
one
still go to
idea.
what's the
Is there
name?
anything like MySpace?
Hey,
It's a lot like
they did a makeover.
Okay, okay.
Right.
It's back. Yeah.
no, but
It's back.
But I mean, I'm not knocking the online presence because there is an online presence. It's
Yeah.
actually like a website, which everything is going back to. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all going back to websites. But you can go. What's the website?
Oh, it's www.playhousemerced.com.
Okay, so you do not ever have to say www dot anymore.
Do I not?
No, you are technologically
I
smart, bro.
love you, RC.
Yeah.
Just playhousemerced.com and then you got it. So playhousemerced.com.
www
But
dot
I will say that
http
backslash. No.
It's playhousemerced.com.
Yes.
And at playhousemerced.com, there is a link that will take you to the group.
Yes.
And that link will like soon be adjusted to so that there is a Facebook.
That there's
page.
a Facebook fan page,
It is
and
something.
I would recommend that too.
Yeah.
I really would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
no.
but if you go to playhousemerced.com,
No, playhousemerced.com.
if you go to playhousemerced.com, there is contact information on there where you can contact people.
Yes.
And you can go down there and you can find out how to volunteer and do whatever you're interested in.
Or you just email me.
But your email is on the
Well, it
website.
is, which is just robh@playhousemerced.com.
RobH@playhousemerced.com.
That's easy.
Most
Yeah.
people, yes, Rob H. Just
Yeah.
email me and it's fine.
Yeah. Or you can even-
www.robh@playhousemerced.com.
No, that's not. I'm confused now. I think I
Fuck,
still.
you confused me,
What's your
man.
Twitter handle?
I think I still have.
I'm a number mark. Number mark.
You don't have dial
I
up.
can still
You're
have
good.
dial up, right?
You're
That's
good.
fine, right?
You're good.
Takes it.
You're good.
I still have my AOL email address.
Yeah, let's get rid of that too.
Well, no,
We're
no,
just gonna.
actually, no. It's brilliant.
And while we're at it, let's go ahead and fix that hair.
No, anytime I want to sign up for something that requires them.
You do the AOL address.
They're like, we
Yeah.
want your email address. I give them the AOL address.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
Genius. Yeah.
You
Just go right to that.
sly little monkey.
I haven't checked that in like 5 years.
Of course you haven't. And it's like totally full of
I'm sure
spam.
Napster is probably trying to contact me.
Probably. They're like, you still owe me $7.95.
Like, wait,
7. Jeez. Oh.
$27
Yeah, from the 20. Fucking music thieves.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Speaking of music thieves, can we have a shout out for Theresa?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Deriva. As you guys know, the podcast is called Overkill. We've been using another Overkill cover
My front kick
from
Germany.
yes, Germany. Now we have Deriva, who is a local band in Merced. You guys may know Adam Trelansky. Yay.
Or
Um,
Carlos Pena.
Yes, Carlos
Carlos
Pena.
Pena.
Yes. They have done.
Locksmith Pena.
He's awesome. I love him. They have done a cover of Overkill that is now going to be the official Overkill theme song. So I'm really
badass.
excited
That's
about
fucking
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good
So
shit.
more local. I mean, just everything is starting to come together, and I'm really happy about that.
You can also just stop in at the Playhouse, right?
Yeah.
You can just stop in.
What are the hours?
What a
Our
horrible
official
question. Don't
hours
you
are-
know better?
No, it's the
Official
box
hours-
office
official
hours.
hours
The
are 1 to
official
5,
hours.
Tuesday through
Stop.
Saturday,
1 to 5. I'm not asking him any questions that I don't know.
Just go to the back parking lot and look for the guy running.
We're
Yeah,
the guy
right?
doing this.
No, but then he'll go like this. He'll look at you because you'll be looking at him and he'll be like, and he'll just go the
That's
other
like
way.
my go-to. I'm like, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. It just goes the other way.
There you go. My phone
I'm not
doesn't
turning
even text.
around.
My phone
I'm
doesn't
not
even
turning
text.
around.
Just
I'm
so
not
everyone
turning
knows
around.
That is watching this, they know me. My phone doesn't even text. I don't do text.
Yes, he
actually.
does not do text. No. So, man, well, this was awesome. Cool. I'm glad that you were on.
Is there anything else that you wanted to add, or?
No. As long
What
as you
is
guys
your
had fun.
favorite curse word?
My favorite curse word is shithouse crazy.
Shithouse crazy.
I think that's my
Love
favorite.
it.
That's good shit.
Oh, I love it. What would you be doing if you were not in your profession right now?
I would be sitting at the Partisan having a beer all day if they were open before 4.
Can you grow a beard?
No, I can't.
Well, that's not a Lipton's question, but that's an awesome
What kind of question am I supposed to be asking? I'm new to this program.
I can't.
I just
I've
tuned
never-
in.
I've
No,
never
I'm
been
just-
able
I'm
to
making
grow
fun of it.
an actual beard.
Okay.
It's patchy. I
Yeah.
do the patches.
The
yeah.
Team Wolf.
Yeah.
No, actually, Team Wolf had a pretty rough.
I've actually never ever been able to grow like Jesus hair either. It's always.
You kind of have been, though.
No,
It's
no,
kind of a
it-
little
no,
bit
it
out,
goes-
but it's all
it
right.
goes out.
I remember meeting you like last
You
March.
grow
and
real
you had this
Jesus
little
hair.
thing. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He grows right here.
You go like real Jesus. It's
like
short
your
and
beard.
curly. Yeah.
It's like,
Look at
bro,
me! I look so sexy with my hair all out here. Woo.
what is your favorite sound?
Favorite sound? Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
That's too much. No,
that's
that's
a
too much. Like favorite
cop-out.
sound, like what off the top of my head. No, I like favorite sound would be like nighttime, like
Crickets.
no, not crickets, but you're outside. You know, when you go outside your house at like late at night and it's just there's like almost nothing except random sounds and kind of animal. I don't know. It's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like the
Relaxing.
distant train in
Yeah.
Merced.
Me too.
Well, yeah.
I do
No, I
too.
love it.
Anywhere in
I do
Merced,
too.
it's just a
I do
train.
too.
Yeah.
Anywhere you live.
Yeah.
Love it. What's your least favorite sound?
My least
I'm
favorite
doing the
sound.
whole James Lipton.
My least favorite sound is really high pitched laughter.
I know, right?
killing you.
Now I'm
You
gonna
can't
be
even hear
like,
like 15-year-old girl laughter, I think, is my least favorite sound.
on mine, I guess.
No. But you don't hear like, you get a
You have more of a gutsy cackle.
Yeah.
I get to
You have a cackle. It's less of a laugh, more of a cackle.
More of a gutsy cackle.
Ah, all right. And when you get to the pearly gates, what do you hope God will say to you when you get there?
Jesus Christ, superstar.
You weren't that bad.
I love you, Rob Hypes. I love you, Mr. Hypes.
Okay, you're okay in my book.
Check. You're in. Thank you for being on.
Cheers.
Cheers. Awesome. Good show. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be in next week. We'll have Vanessa on.
Next week? Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Yep, Vanessa Hoffman. So tune in.
Don't forget to drink today.
Yeah. Come on down to the Partisan. Right on. Karaoke.
I'm going to smoke a cigarette.
All right. Me too.